Hey guys, while I was doing the last video of Justin Dean locking June out of the house during the December month in Oregon, by the way, I looked up the weather for Oregon back in December, around December 20th, because he went down for Christmas, so that would be close to the 20th. And it was the average temperature in Oregon was 35 degrees. So it was really cold to lock a 3-year-old out in the cold. Anyway, getting on to this video, because that was the last video I put out about the temperature and June being locked out. But this video have to do with a different topic. But this particular topic was on that same video with June. So it's all intertwined. So as Justin Dean was showing the video of his father's house and he was filming all over the house, I noticed something in the kitchen. On the bottom of the countertop, on the side, it's like pasted on, and it shows a horseshoe with the stars and the blue background, the white stars, and Robert E. Lee on the horse. And the reason why I know that's Robert E. Lee is because that's a famous pose that Robert E. Lee did. And together with that, with the stars representing all the southern states that were involved in the war, and the horseshoe with a blue background, that is a Confederate symbol. Okay? And so I'm going to get deeper into the video. Here we go. Now, the horseshoe and the man on the horse, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the symbol. Well, that is a Confederate symbol. The man on the horse is supposed to be General Robert E. Lee. He was one of the generals that led the South against the North in the Civil War of America, because he and the other generals believed that they wanted to maintain the South as it was with the slaves and the cotton plantations, and they were fighting to maintain the old system of slaves picking cotton and the South profiting from free labor. So when I saw the symbol in the father's house, the horseshoe with the man on the horse and the stars and the blue background, the white stars, I said, okay. It is in that moment I began to understand the background of Cora's ex-husband. And I'm wondering if she fully understood or understand who she married. Now, I'm not saying that he's a racist, but I'm saying there's a symbol in his father's house that represents a racist. So anyone you see with that symbol is considered a racist. They believe in anti-Semitism. They're anti-Semitic. They believe in slavery. They would like black people to go back to picking cotton and slavery days. And when I saw that symbol in Justin Dean's father's house, I realized who he was. This is all alleged that the family is a racist family, but that's the symbol in their home, and it represents racism, because not everybody coming out of that type of household believes in racism. However, because of how he's treating Cora and the children, I can say that whatever he saw his father doing, he's probably now doing. Because how do you lock a 3-year-old child out in the cold in Oregon in the dead of winter, and the child is crying and knocking because she's freezing cold, and you won't open the door? I'm going to tell you guys one thing, that every time those kids go to their father's house and come back home, Cora should be questioning June to see what she did, who she saw, what was done to her, and if she was touched. Not saying the father would do it, but she don't know what company the father is keeping. And when June is around these people, if they're doing anything to her. So she needs to question June every single time she goes over to her father's house. But it would explain why he does not have a conscience in locking a 3-year-old out in the cold as she was banging on the door, knowing that there were dogs in the yard to bite her, or dogs in that neck of the wood that can bite her and chew her up. So when I saw that symbol in the parents' kitchen area on I think it was like a countertop, and the bottom part of the countertop, that was posted right there. And I said, oh my goodness, I wonder if Cora Obidi is aware that I believe she married a white supremacist. So when he left his little girl outside, 3 years old, in the cold, he don't know if somebody's going to grab her and sexually molest her or kill her and dump her body somewhere. So there was no thought. And that's why he is not a good parent. These girls should not be in his care because he lacked sympathy and empathy for a 3-year-old. And he left her outside for anybody to do anything to her. So again, Cora Obidi needs to get a lawyer so the lawyer can go to court and file a petition where this man does not have access to these children freely. He's got to be supervised. Now getting back to the Confederate flag. Now, Robert E. Lee was a Confederate general during the American Civil War. Towards the end of the war, he was appointed the overall commander of the Confederate States Army. So he was the leading general in the Confederate States Army. And they were fighting for the North and South not to be joined as the United States. They wanted to be separate, like a separate country, because they wanted to maintain slavery. So the above picture with a horseshoe, with a blue background, with the stars, the white stars around that, and the horse, the man on the horse, that's a famous picture of Robert E. Lee. And it's all in the history books. If you guys look it up, you will see that it's a symbol of Robert E. Lee. It's like a little statue of him. And it looks like the front of the countertop in the kitchen, but it's big. As you guys can see, it's all over that the side or the front of the countertop. I think it's the front of the countertop. And it's big. It's not small. It's not hidden. So these people are very proud of that symbol. Now that X that you guys see with the stars with the blue background, that's the Confederate flag. And if you see that anywhere in anybody's house, it does not have to be a flag. It could be on a coffee cup. It could be a spoon. It could be a plate, the sheets, pillowcases, whatever. You know what it is. It does not have to be an X either. It could be a horseshoe. Okay? So recognize it for what it is, and then you deal with the person accordingly. At least you will know that they are a white supremacist. I worked with someone in the past, and she had a ring, and she had a blue background with white stars. And I asked her, what does it mean? And she said she and her family believe in Robert E. Lee still, so they wear some type of symbol of his leadership. So when I go to any person's home who is Caucasian, I look for symbols of the Confederacy, and that tells me who they are. I told you guys before, I worked for a lot of families because I was in healthcare. And whenever I went to a Caucasian person's house, that's what I would look for. And that told me if they were racist or white supremacist. Now, the above picture I got from Google. This is a picture of General Robert E. Lee and his horse. Okay, so that's the same picture Justin Dean's father had inside that horseshoe with the blue background and the white stars. It is symbolic for the Confederacy. And when I say the Confederacy, for those who don't know what that is, it means white supremacy. Now, you may see the symbolism of the Confederacy with a horseshoe and the stars. You may also see it's called the Stars and Bars, the flag, which feature the white star for each Confederate state on a blue background. For those of you who married white men, you need to look out for certain symbols that they carry around, which tells who they really are. I'm sorry, white men as well as white women. If you see any type of blue background with white stars, it doesn't have to be a flag. You will recognize it for what it is. It simply means that that person is practicing white supremacy, but don't want you to know. They're on the low, okay, about it. So, folks, I'm afraid that Cora Obidi may have married a white supremacist and did not know it. This is all alleged. Guys, I hate to break it to Cora Obidi, but I believe she married a white supremacist. Everything I've said on this video is alleged. YouTubers, I'm over now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and to this video. Thank you for watching.